Okay, so welcome everybody to our live Thursday. And I am Denise Armenia. We have Claire McIntyre here. I believe Connie will be joining us shortly, but she's having the beginnings of this bad ice storm that's coming my way. So we'll see what happens, but I just want to thank everybody for coming. And we have Lori, I'm going to unmute you. Let me see. Oh, I was going the wrong place. Hold on. I've got to find you here. I just unmuted you, I believe. Are you there, Lori?
Hello, everyone.
Ah, there you are. Hello. Did you want to turn your video on so we can see you? Great. Hi.
Hello.
So why don't you tell me, well, let's get your name in here so we can get this situated. So your full name is Lori, is that correct?
Yeah, I have an account already. But
you have a Genius already.
Pardon?
What do you mean?
I have an account through Heather at Divine Healing, if that helps, but
you mean a Quanta capsule? Okay. Do you have the Genius?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just saying, so I can send frequencies to you later. Oh,
I see. Okay. Yeah. Lori Friesen is correct then. Let's leave it at that.
Okay. And what is your birth date?
September 11th, 61.
Okay. And I'm just going to start going to the next screen here since we have all your information. This next screen, I don't usually fill out. It doesn't have anything to do with the scan itself. But if you want to take client notes on here, that's what this is for. So before I start taking your voice recording and your picture, did you want to tell us what you would like to work on today?
Self-confidence, I think.
Self-confidence, okay. Anything else?
I'm recovering from that interesting flu we got going on around the world.
Okay. And do you have any physical pain or any emotional pain?
I could certainly stand to open my heart up some more. Other than that, no.
Okay. So your overall well-being then, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being not so good, where would you put yourself today?
If 10 is not so good, I would say
yeah, because that's how I usually do this scale. So I know it sounds kind of lopsided, but it doesn't really matter. But
I put it at a 3. Okay.
So 3 meaning there's not so much bad going on with you.
There's not so much bad going on. I could be doing a lot more physically to have more strength and stamina and that kind of thing.
Okay, well, I'm going to just take your screenshot of you right now so that we can add it.
Do you want me to move the?
No, I'm totally good. So okay. Now what we're going to do is, you're probably familiar with this already, but I'm going to count you down. I'll say 3, 2, 1, begin. And when I do that, you can say your full name and then repeat the vowels A, E, I, O, U repeatedly until the 15 seconds is up. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Lori Friesen, A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O,
Okay, you're great. Thank you. I'm not going to activate this right now, but on the bottom left, it says voice harmonics. If you were to play that, it plays what you just recorded back into a frequency. The sounds are usually very low in the recording, so you won't hear it very well. So that's the only reason why I'm not playing it back, but you should play it back after you work with someone. So I'm just going to go next. And I'm just going to hit continue here. And since I already added your photo to my photos, I'm going to hit existing photo. And there you are. And now we can run an analysis on that. Okay, so now is there an affirmation you would like to add? I am confident.
I am confident.
Okay. Anything else?
I am a healer.
A healer or healed?
Oh, well, I was thinking about it being a self-healer, so I am healed. Okay.
I could put healer. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so now if anybody is here who is just running the trial or just has the basic package, this is what you will see when you log in, these three titles of biofield, body, and mind. I also have libraries, so I'm going to go into the back office now by clicking on these three bars at the top right and scroll down to libraries. And this is where I can, if you see on the bottom, add to client, and then I'm going to hit select all and okay. And oh, that's weird. I don't know why that happened. And if anybody has any master branch libraries, you would also need to go into master branch as well and add to client from there also. So I'm just going to go back. Now you can see that libraries is added here, and I'm going to begin analysis now. Okay, so now you can see the Genius will then reorder all those titles. Before they were in alphabetical order, but now it shows you where the Genius is finding the most energetic disturbances. So for you, Lori, it's saying that it's in the body. And then it's saying that it's something within the libraries that I have, then mind and your biofield. Now, just to give a little explanation, the numbers on the right-hand side go from 0 to 777. 0 to 100 is represented by the color blue. And those are typically observed to be chronic energetic disturbances. Or in Chinese medicine, they may refer to it as stagnant energy. Then 101 till about the mid 400 range is represented by the color green. And then where the green drops off, the yellow picks up in that mid 400 range and goes to about 688 or 689. And then the red will begin at about 689 and go to 777. And red is typically observed to be acute energetic disturbances, meaning that it's more present, it's occurring right now. And in Chinese medicine, that may also be related to heat or inflammation. We have also found that when we're adding things to the main hold tray, which is here on the bottom, when we run the scan, which is then in the progressive insights, that items that are 600 and above or 200 and below often will show as high. The progressive insights, when it runs the scan, looks at all the items and its relationship to each other. So that's why they may change from being high to maybe medium, or maybe not high, you know, not being showing a high disturbance or low disturbance, but when in relationship to all of them, it may be so. We also see on the left these little arrows, and that just lets us know that there's more information and you can go a little deeper. So if I were to click on minerals, you can see now it lets us know what all those minerals are and which ones have a disturbance and which ones don't. I just want to go down right now and take a look at your aura picture before we start running any frequencies. And so to get that aura picture, all you need to do is click on the line for aura and it will bring you to this screen. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture of this. So when I look at this, basically, it's not horrible. I mean, there's really no horrible in the auras, but we do like to see, or what I like to look for is bright, vibrant colors. And those are going to be bright, vibrant colors of the chakras. And pale or dirty or muddy looking auras or colors like a brownish or grays just show that there's probably more stagnant energy there and things that we want to break up that stagnant energy. And I'm sorry, I'm just looking. I see Rosemary asking, can you show an example of a master branch library? Yes, I will. When I go back into libraries, just remind me, Rosemary, if I get sidetracked, okay? So anyway, this is your aura. You see a little bit of greenish, yellow, bluish, but it's not really clear. So hopefully by the end of this session, maybe we'll see a brighter aura there for you. The next thing I like to do in my sessions is go to the system overview and click on the system. You can click on it or touch on the system overview. And what that does is it brings you to the general overview. And the general overview is basically the system overview that we just looked at, but expanded. So now you're seeing like all the drop downs and everything, and it reorders it. So everything is ordered from the 0 to 777. I am just going to move this timer here up to the top. And right now it says 15 minutes, but I'm going to click on it and it changes to 0. And that's just so I can run it and I can stop it whenever I want to. And it will be able to calculate the percent rectification. If you do it on a specific time, you can't stop it before that time. I mean, you can stop it, but it won't give you the percent rectification. So I'm going to start the analysis here. So now we see that for you, Lori, your top item that is acute is, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, Foti? I don't know, but it's an herb. And then we see that you have your small intestine 0.2, your liver 0.4, your liver 13. We go to the cortex part of your brain and the small intestine 19. the emotion of guilt. So those are some things that are just happening right now. If we touch or click on general overview again, it will show us the lower values. So for you, some of the items that are been out of balance for a more chronic time is magnesium, and then your bladder 0.23, your governing vessel 44, the herb borage. We have histamine, and then the governing vessel again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run all of these on a quick balance. Well, the quick balance will just run the reds and the blues, but I'm going to run this for a little bit. Okay, so this is great. So you can see on the bottom, it says average percent rectification. So you're at 61%. So that's awesome. Typically, I'm happy if it's 40% or above. And Ryan Williams is happy if it's 20% or above. So, and he just feels, just to give his perspective a little bit, is that it's gentler. And some people, you may only want to work at 20%. You might find you have some clients that are very sensitive to subtle frequencies. So maybe only having 20% would just be a little bit gentler on them. But I find that maybe 20% of the people that I work with are that sensitive to the frequencies. Most people aren't. Just FY from my experience. So anyway, now if we hit this back arrow, we can go back and we can know that we worked with 61% of the items that were blue or red have been harmonized. So that's great. We don't know specifically which ones we are, but it's a great starting point. Now, the other thing that I like to go to after I do the system overview is spiritual protection. And I work with this a lot in my practice. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard I do emotion code and body code, and I work with a lot of the energies that are within spiritual protection. And I find that it's really important in clearing a lot of different issues. So I'm just going to add all of these in. And I'm going to, now this is what's called the progressive insights. I'm going to move the timer down to 1 minute and begin analysis on these. And I'm going to hit all. Now, interestingly, you only have one high and a psychic attack is showing. From my experience, 9 times out of 10, when psychic attack shows, you're having some kind of physical pain. You're not having anything? No pain anywhere?
No.
Lucky you. But let's run this and see what happens. Oh, Laura, you're asking, is it more effective to wear headphones when you're doing this? No, I haven't found it to be more or less. And some people don't even like the sound and they turn the sound down. So, and when I work on clients remotely, they're not listening to the sound because I don't usually work with my clients with the Zoom. I just only work this way when I do demos so that you can see how I'm running a session. Yes, Jill, this will be recorded. And it's posted on YouTube. So you had a 54% rectification, so that's great. We can rescan this. Now, often when you rescan, you may end up with more highs than you did before. And now it's showing grounding, psychic attack, and chanting and invocations. So we did not clear the psychic attack. So this means doing energy work is very often like peeling the layers of an onion. So you may clear one level or layer, and then other things will rise to the surface. So to me, this is like what happens when you rescan. So if I wasn't doing a demo right now, I probably would run this again and maybe just run the highs. But I want to make sure that we get to everything. So I'm not going to do that right now. We can look quickly and see how that affected your aura. So now it's bringing a little bit pinker colors in. We still see in here it's getting muddy, but there's definitely been shifts. And I do find, you know, when you're working on clearing the spiritual protection, you're gonna see energy moving around and changing in there. So now the next thing I would go to is, so you want to work on more confidence. And also, are you fatigued still from when you just had the flu, or?
Certainly just don't have the strength. And I'm still got some respiratory clogging kind of
drainage
thing,
and
without being gross about it.
Okay, great. So I can look into that for you. I just want to make sure that we're. So if we go into today's stress, infection shows up, liver shows up. We see, you know, if we're going to look at 600 and above, maybe some environmental things going on, hormonal, and then nutritional, emotional, connective tissue. I'm going to add in all these that are below 200. And then let's add these reds and these two that are 600 and above. We can also look at minerals. Now, I like to always add in this lithium, no matter where it is. I find that whenever I put it in, it always at some point will show up as a high when we look at it in the progressive insights. And it often is connected with emotions. And so that's why I put it in. We can add, I'm going to add the reds and the blues in here for you, just because you've been sick. Body systems, we see circulatory, urinary, respiratory is off. So that all makes sense with what you are telling us. And I'll add in the circulatory up here. Spinal energy is always another good one that I always add. As you look at this screen, you'll see the cervical spine listed in order from C1, and then it goes down to your coccyx. If you hit or click on this high to low, it will then show you which are your top reds and then your blues. And so we can just see right here, lumbar 4 is the body connection is the muscles of the lower back and sciatic nerve. It harmonizes the spine for back pain, urinary issues, frequent or painful, which is kind of interesting because your bladder, I believe showed up in, I think it was today's stress. And that emotional connection is feeling powerless. Thoracic 6 is your stomach, indigestion, reflux, food sensitivities. The emotional connection is constant worry and stuffed emotions. Do you have any digestive issues that you're aware of?
Yes.
Okay. And let's see. So C1 would be more of a chronic disturbance. And your C1 body connection is middle ear, pituitary gland, and blood supply to the head. It harmonizes the spine for headaches, insomnia, high blood pressure, migraines, chronic fatigue, and dizziness. And then the emotional connection is fear of being judged. So I don't know if those resonate for you, but I will add all the blues here, all the reds, and I will do all items that are below 200. And above 600. We can look at your organs. The lungs are showing up, which again, given that you were just sick and you already mentioned respiratory, it makes sense that the lungs are showing up. And then we have your spleen and skin. I'm going to look at digestion and add your gallbladder and mouth and these below 200 here. Liver is showing up again. So sometimes you just may start to see patterns as you do this. As you go to different sections, you might see the same things showing up as being off. Glands is another important one. So the thyroid and the parathyroid. And the thyroid can have a lot to do with digestion as well. Just if you don't have enough HCl, you're not going to digest as well. So then from there, we can look at the mind. And I always want to look at emotion, the emotional part, and the Bach flower essences. So I will add in here the reds and the blues. And again, I will also add 600 and above. So I have to drag and drop all of these. And these are 200 and below. I think I added the blues already. Yeah, I did. And then the Bach flower essences. I just added the reds and blues. Let's just see what mustard means to see if this resonates for you. So mustard, the meaning of this essence is deep gloom for no reason. I don't know if that resonates for you. I know with the weather here, it's kind of gloomy, but and the one that would be more chronic is beech, and beech is developing more tolerance of self and of others. So I don't know if that resonates for you, but we've
one
added.
of my gene keys, yeah.
Is it? Let me see. So I've added those in.
Actually, it's the core wound, forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to go on to the biofield. And again, even though it's showing up as having a less disturbance for you, this is one of my favorite sections. I just feel like, especially for maintenance, if you don't really have anything health-wise that you want to work on, making sure your biofield is healthy is really great daily practice. So we already have added the spiritual protection and looked into that. We can look at the Nogiers, and for anyone who doesn't know, Dr. Nogier found that our organs and glands have their own specific frequency, almost like a fingerprint. And if they are not in balance, meaning if they're not at that frequency, the function of that gland or organ will probably be off. Now, Nogier G, I would always add in, even though this is a high 600, it's good to add in anyway, but Nogier G is like the universal frequency, and it's for intellectual organization. It also deals with inflammation and scar tissue and brain function. I will add in those C and A. And then Nogier F is emotional harmony, bone healing, and hormones. And it also opens the energy of the hypothalamus, muscle spasms, facial pain, headaches, depression, hormones, and circulation. The aura, there isn't anything really to do here, and it's showing as green, so I'm not going to add that. We can look at the chakras, which are always important, and your heart and your solar chakra are really the only two off here. The others are between 600 and 200, so I'm not going to add anything there. Your meridians, I always will add the conception vessel and the, where is it, governing meridian. And I also like to add the first and the last point on those, just because the governing vessel goes along the back of your body to the bottom of your spine, from the top of your lip to your bottom of your spine, and the conception vessel goes from your lower lip to your pubic bone. So hopefully by stimulating these, the beginning and the end points, it will start moving the energy through there. And I think I didn't add that. I didn't add GV28, which is the last point. Where is it? Yeah, I think I added GV24, I think. Yeah. So I just want to, oh, go away. Oh, here it is. Okay, and I'm just going to add the blues and the reds here for you. We can look at the Saveggio tones, and in here, again, one that I will always add no matter what the value or color is 528. And while we're here, we can add 963, which is perfect note completing the circle. Saveggios are similar to Nogiers, except there are more frequencies on the spiritual realm. And we could look at sacred geometry, and we could add fractals in there. And these blue ones. Okay, so from there, I've touched on a bunch of the items on this page, and what I didn't, hopefully the general overview will have worked with a little bit. And now we can look at the libraries, and we'll have to hit analysis here. Sorry, it's taking a little long. I have a lot. Okay, I'm going to look at right here, since it showed up, this Chinese medicine lung patterns, and add this since you have had respiratory issue here. And just looking to see if there's anything else that's
This is fascinating.
You like it? I'm glad. Yeah, you know, there could be so many things that can affect different areas that we don't even think of, which is why I always say, you know, it's great sometimes to have like a certain game plan on what you work with, but you need to trust in the genius on what's showing up, because that's where the disturbances are. If you're just set on always working the same way every time, you may miss a lot. Sometimes it's easier to have a certain flow of where to go, and if you're starting out, that's good. But I think to trust the genius and use your intuition and where it takes you, or where your eye might catch on the screen, is always beneficial. So that was my 2 cents. And we can try this respiratory down here. And these are a lot of solutions, so that's good. We can add these in. I believe this library Connie made, our good friend and co-host. She's here somewhere. So if you like this library, give her a shout out. Connie can list your email down there if you like this library.
It's interesting because I have been taking the NAC a lot of it for
good.
a couple of weeks now. So, and I was taking it before.
Is it helping you?
It's just been like a cold. Like, it really hasn't been very bad symptoms of anything.
Well, that's good. And then I had some cold and flu remedies. So these are just frequencies. We can add some of these in here. Again, these are just the frequencies. And I find often that sometimes just the frequencies are all that's needed.
Have you used this with sleep apnea?
Sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I don't really think that there's anything that you can't work on with this. We're all made up of energies and frequencies. So if, you know, again, that's why I'm saying let the genius guide you to where, you know, the reds or the blues, or if you want to dig a little deeper, go 600 and above and 200 and below. And hopefully you can just clear up those frequencies. Oops. Now I just want to look at, I've added a bunch of stuff in there for your cold support. I want to look at, what did you say? Confidence. No, that's not what I want to look at. I'm trying to think. Let's do this emotional reset. And let's see here. Go into here and maybe some past trauma. And then the other libraries, which if you guys watch me that I love, are my Alaskans. And I'm going to go to this one. I've got to work on getting some of what they represent up there for you. And we can do these elixirs. So this one silver that shows up is a lack of alignment between personal and divine will, heavy metal toxicity or chronic misalignment issues in the upper part of the body, and a weak connection between the heart and the higher self is showing. So we are adding these reds, and we can look at the blues. So Cinnabar, and the reason why I'm clicking on it is because the genius cuts off all the wording. So if I click on it, I'm able to see everything that I typed in, but I'm not going into entangled insights really to work with it. I'm just trying to get the full description here for you so you can read it. Cinnabar is deep sadness and pain from unresolved karmic and ancestral issues, remorse, resignation, and despair that is out of proportion to remembered events and victim consciousness. So I've added those in, and now I'm going to go to our main hold tray and begin an analysis there. Interesting that ivermectin shows up on top. I'm going to run all of them for 1 minute. I like to run all of the frequencies 1 minute, and then I rescan, 1 minute, rescan, and then I run the highs for 3 minutes. So you had 39% rectification. That's really, really good. We were working with over 200 items here. And now I'm just going to rescan. So now here's that grounding is showing up again as high. So, you know, even, I don't know, what's the climate where you are right now?
It's -20 and I'm in northern Alberta.
You may not be getting outside much, but if you can, just get, you know, go outside, hug a tree maybe.
That was my plan, actually. I've been in the city for a week and I haven't been for months, so I'm finding it very different.
Yeah, so hopefully you could do that. I'm just going to run all the highs again for you. So Rosemary, I have 2 questions now I have to get to you on. I will go look at those. Oh, thank you, Jill. That's so nice of you to say. I really appreciate that. What just happened? Okay, the Zoom is glitching in. Oh, there we go. Ah. Okay, so now we had 60. Wow, I've never seen that before, guys. Everyone is 60%. That's so awesome. And that is really good that you had 60% on all of them. So I'm going to rescan them again. And now I am going to change the timer to 3 minutes. And I'm just going to click high. And we're going to hit play. Everybody, I always mention this. It's so important to drink water, especially when, always, even when you don't use the Genius, but especially when you're using the Genius. Almost done. It's hard to hear when this thing is running, so that's why I'm being quiet.
Have you noticed the questions?
Yeah, I see, but I want to wait until the frequencies are done.
Sure.
I'll go into the back office, everybody, and answer some of the questions on what settings I have it on and the tones on what I have on. I see your question too, Jill. I'll get to it. How are you doing, Lori?
Really good.
Okay, good. Okay, so you had 50% rectification. That's really good. I hope you're feeling a little better. You've had some great rectification here. I want to answer some of these questions really quick, and then we're going to go back and check your aura. I'm going to go into my back office and help answer some of these questions. So I think, who asked? Rosemary asked me. I have it on 50%. And I have that on there just by chance, really, because I often just use it on default, and I didn't go back and change it. I usually always keep it on the harmonics, and usually always keep it on alternating as well. And I have this sound just on 50% for both. You can adjust that based on your own preferences, but that's just where I have it. Oh, Connie, you're asking, oh yes, they'll all be shared. From what you're reading the description from and how to get it. Oh, Audra, I'm reading some of the descriptions from these success cards. I think they can be purchased separately, but they also come with like the elite package. Did I answer? Oh, Jill, your question. When I describe the peeling of the onion, whenever you're working with the genius or energetically, you're always working at a subconscious level. And so our subconscious is only going to show us what we're ready to handle. So a lot of times you need to like clear one layer off, and then your subconscious will feel safe, and then it can show you the next layer, but it's just not going to give you everything at one time. So you just kind of have to be patient with it, and it just really depends on what you're clearing, because every issue would be different. I hope that answers your question. So let's go back now to your aura, and hopefully we will get a pretty picture. So it's still showing a little muddiness. I'm going to try and see if we can just go into one. Let's see. I'm just going to work with these Alaskan essences. There are some gems in here as well as essences, and this is just to connect you to your inner vitality. So I'm just gonna put this on 0 and just run these for a little bit. Hopefully maybe this will break up. How are you starting to feel, Lori? Any shifts or anything? They were kind of, I don't know that you'll feel confident like right off the bat. I think that's something that you have to like ease into.
No, feeling, well, I had to move around. So obviously I need to, do some releasing and go for a walk
Mhm.
in the outside and find some place to ground under the snow.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's pleasant being here with you guys, and I certainly feel lighter.
Well, good. That's always good. Let's hope we get a nice picture for you now. So there's still some things that you could work on in here, but green is a healing color and it's your heart chakra. So that's a good, hopefully, if we had more time, maybe we could run the vitality that I was just running for you a little bit longer, but we're kind of running out of time. So I hope, did you want me to send you these frequencies?
That would be lovely.
Did you say you have I'd be happy to. Hold on. I mean, it's not going to be the ones that I did on Quick Balance, but just these. Let me just run them all for you for a second. Okay, what's your email?
It's LORIJ.Friesen, FRIESEN @gmail.com.
Were you on a trial, or maybe I got your email wrong? LORI, or was there a J in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Am I spelling something?
Maybe it's the other one. Okay. LORETTA. No, LORETTA at ALYMINT. Sorry, MINT. Oh, I forgot the N. ALYNMINT. Sorry. That's why I don't use it. I can't remember it half time. .com.
Hopefully this one will work.
Well, I don't know. That's weird.
I don't know. Sorry,
okay.
You're gonna have to check what email you're using it under, but
it has to be one or the other. So okay.
I don't know why it's not LORETTA at ALYNMINT.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe there's an E after the N. Let me look.
Yeah.
I think there's an E after the N. Oh yeah, ALYNEMINT.
Okay, well, what?
LORETTA.
Yeah.
At ALYNEMINT.com.
There you go. So everybody out there, most of the time, I just want to say the problems that people have with their QuantaCaps are usually email errors. So when they don't seem to be working, check to make sure you have the right email. Also, when you're using the QuantaCap to send information to your practitioner, the email it asks for is your practitioner's email. That's so if you think about it, where you want to send your audio clip and your picture to. A lot of times when I'm dealing with support, I find that people are adding their own email. and that's not going to be sending your information anywhere. So those are really important things just to make sure and double check if you have problems there. So I just want to look at some of these questions really quick before we're going. Rosemary is asking, this is what I usually have it set at. Once of okay, we can talk another time, but some people are just more sensitive to frequencies. But yeah, no, I frequently will have it on 50%. It really depends what the issue is, but it's all good. You can email me, Rosemary, at Denise at Inside Health Apps. Okay, bye. And well, all right. I think I got everybody. Jill, thank you. And it's always a pleasure having you here, and can't wait to see everybody next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.